Okay, we're back. We're back, and we have, once again, the Ronin Shinto. Now, I did get the Kydex sheath. So I think the Kydex sheath is a little too tight. It's going to need some adjusting because, at least on mine, it's really tearing up the micarta grip right here. It's tearing it up big time. It locks in tight, but it's a little too tight. With that being said, we'll get that sheath out of the way. Well, the sheath has the same style, like soft, pliable plastic with the snaps, just like the Machai. But we'll get the sheath out of the way. I wanted to give you just a little bit closer. You can see how thick, hopefully, that blade steel is. A little more focused, close-up look of the Ronin Shinto. Now, S45 VN. And like I talked about in the other video, very balanced, very nice. It is just a really nice feeling knife. Now, let's get in here. We'll talk about sharpening, which I've dusted this already. But let's get in here. We'll start breaking this up. We'll break this into sections as if we were gonna start a fire. Smells like a skunk's been around here. We'll start working on some feather sticks here. It just glides through this dry wood. No hot spot on the back of the spine for pushing with your thumb. I don't feel any hot spots, any sharp ridges, none of that. Like I said, all the way out to the tip, you can just curl that wood thin. You got control no matter which section of this recurve you use. It just curls it nice. Real nice. Whoops, that's too dry. It's S45, so it's going to really hold its edge well. Now what we'll do is, some people like to do these feather sticks sort of this way. You get a kind of a lot more leverage, a lot more bite. A lot more control, if you will. Once again, absolutely no problem. You can get nice little shavings down here, pick them up, put them in. So I just got a new work sharp. It's the one for about 140, 160. I can't remember if it's called the Pro. And I dusted this edge. I just dusted it, hit it with the leather. It does take a little bit of effort or force, if you will, to really get down there, and so you're not there all day. As far as chopping goes, well, shit, let's find a big piece of stick over here. Let's see. We don't want that. What about... let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to say this is roughly 2.5 inches. Got a lot of nice. Now this is where, I mean, this already feels really good. This feels better than the Machai. This feels awesome. Yeah. That just, right where it, man, does that feel good. Let me revisit the Machai. I love the lanyard for this type of stuff. That's probably good right there. Let's see. Actually, you know what? They actually both feel, because the Machai is a little longer, it does have a little bit, so they both feel very good. Just something about that. Something about this one. I mean, even though it's lighter, it just feels pretty great, actually. So let's baton a little bit. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. And this PVD, this probably carbon titanium nitride, it's not taking a lot of wear whatsoever. It's tough. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Now, the last thing I want to look at, can it throw some decent sparks? Now, granted, before we get into this, I don't think this was ever designed to be strictly, what do you want to call it, a bush knife, okay? It was designed to kind of be the best of both worlds. And I will link with you, before I get into my story, I'll link with you if I can find the clip where Tu Lam says, you know, he was in the jungle in the Philippines, and on roughly seven different continents, so he draws his experience from there. And I'll put some video up right now. I've been multiple times to the jungles of the Philippines. I married a woman from the Philippines, and she comes from an island that just got power, electricity, last year, okay? And so the 2 years prior to them having electricity, I was there. And they live in the jungle, at the edge of the jungle. And I would go in there looking for cobras, looking for vipers, looking for scorpions, tarantulas. I've been deep in the Philippines jungle. So let me put up some different stuff from my adventure, and then we'll be right back. Okay, now that you've seen that, I could see this somewhat being useful in the jungle, but not much. The bamboo there, on average, is as thick as your thumb, so you could hack it. This is no machete. I would want something much bigger than this for my treks through the jungle. But anyway, let's see if we can get some sort of sparking off of this. Oh, look at that. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Now, you are going to mark your PVD up. But and you can really control where you're throwing it. So that's one big major advantage. Look at that. One big major plus over the Machai, because if you remember, the Machai wouldn't throw a spark to save its life. I modified it. It throws decent sparks. Let's try. Throws decent sparks now. I gotta get choked up here. Not as controllable. Not quite as much. But it does the job nonetheless. Especially if you have cotton balls soaked in hand sanitizer. Okay? So with that being said, I'm sure there's more knife skills than what I've shown here, but just some basic stuff. This ronin Shinto is a really nice piece of kit. If you're looking for something that is half designed to be a half fighting knife and a half bush knife, I don't want to say look no further, because there's a plethora of good knives out there. A plethora. But the design of this, the shape of this, I mean, this is no joke. This is a, this is a really, really nice piece of kit. I'm glad I'm keeping this. And I think I said in another video, I'd like to actually get another one for my wife. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up at least the things that I would be doing with this knife. A little bit of, chopping if I have to, although I will bring probably a little machete. But chopping and splitting wood, I mean, that's nice. That's nice to get your fire going. Feather sticking, that's nice. It does really great at that. Here's a couple more pieces here. Cutting cord. Listen, I'm not going to cut cord and rope and all that after doing this. It's S45. It's going to cut your cordage. It ain't cheap steel. Even here on the Machai, I dusted that a while back. It sharpens great. It actually sharpens a little bit better than the S45, but it'll slightly lose its edge slightly quicker, but man, it's still got a mirror edge. This is a fantastic knife for the price, and I've seen them as cheap as, I think I got mine for $130. So if you want that recurve, but you don't want to give the bigger money for the Ronin Shinto, I mean, that's a good piece of kit. That's a really, and the sheath is great. The sheath has that nice lock, I always try to wipe this off before I put it back in the Kydex so that I don't introduce too much dirt. But my only worry is that's so tight that when you got it on your belt and you go to pull it, it's going to really pull up. I got to get the hair dryer or something out and just sort of soften that up. I want it to lock in, but that's just a bit too tight. But a really great piece of kit. And I think next we're going to get, try to get our hands on the Horkos. The Horkos looks like it's a good field knife. And to be honest with you, that's about the extent of my interest in the Spartan. There are, the Enyo, that's probably a nice EDC knife. Maybe try one of those. But unless I see something on sale, this is probably the extent. But if you see one of these, get them. Like I said, they've been out for some time. And I really think I see a lot of stores closing these out and not reordering. I think it won't be long and they'll be out of production. So if you see one, get one. They are fantastic. And that edge is, man, that is a splitting edge. So with that being said, I'll let you go, and we'll catch you in the next one.